Today we're going to do SD 51.21 Chatuka Padana Sutta 1 and 2. So these two suttas, they are the same name. Padana Sutta, Padana meaning striving, same meaning as effort, virya, on the four right strivings. Chatuka means four, the four sets of four, the quartet. So they both actually talk about the same thing, with just some minor differences, and the verse, the closing verse is is different. Okay, the four efforts are very simple. The first one is the effort to prevent. The second is the effort to prevent. In other words, here is to keep a bad action that you have not done, keep it that way. This is the easiest to practice. It's the action of non-action. And the second one is the effort to abandon. In other words, to give up something that's bad, something bad you've been doing, that you've been creating, so you stop that. The third one is the effort to cultivate an unarisen, wholesome state. Let's say you have not meditated before, so you make the effort, the initiative to start meditating. And then the fourth effort is to guard an arisen, wholesome state, that is to go on meditating, right? Of course, we can take these four strivings or four right efforts to refer to the way we think. For example, if we have never think of nasty thoughts towards someone, then we keep it that way. And the second one is if we have been angry with someone or have some negative thought with someone, we make an effort to straight away stop it, to end it. And then following that, we cultivate loving kindness. So we initiate by making an effort. Sometimes it can be quite difficult to think positively of someone who has hurt us, someone we do not like. And then the fourth effort is to guard the practice. Keep on doing the practice. Let go of negative thoughts. So there you are. The first right effort, first right striving is called Sangvara Padana. The effort to prevent an unarisen, unwholesome state from arising. Number two is Pahana Padana. The effort to abandon an arisen, unwholesome state. So the first two right efforts deal with unwholesome states. Then the second pair, and the third right striving or right effort, Bhavana Padana, the effort to cultivate an unarisen, wholesome state. And then number four is Anurakkana Padana, the effort, the striving to guard an arisen, wholesome state. So the last pair deals with the wholesome mental state, wholesome verbal action, wholesome thoughts, body, speech and mind, in other words. Now there are lots of suttas here, they're listed for you. You can read them on your own. I'm going to start with Chatuka Padana Sutta first. It's quite short. It's a kind of introduction. This is on page 127. Chatuka Padana Sutta 1, the first false discourse on striving, A 4.13. Bhikshus, there are these four right strivings. What are the four? Here, bhikshus, among summons his will, makes an effort, rouses energy, applies his mind, strives for the non-rising of unarisen, bad, unwholesome states. Number 2, he summons his will, makes an effort, rouses energy, applies his mind, strives for the abandoning of arisen, bad, unwholesome states. 3, he summons his will, makes an effort, rouses energy, applies his mind, strives for the arising of unarisen, wholesome states. 4, he summons his will, makes an effort, rouses energy, applies his mind, strives for the persistence of arisen, wholesome states, for their non-decline, increase, abundance, development, fulfillment. So there you are. This is a kind of full statement on the 4 right strivings. Notice here the sutta says summons his will, and then there is a string of synonyms. They all more or less mean the same thing. Summons his will, makes a kind of effort, mental effort. That's the second phrase. Then rouses energy, applies his mind. So we're talking about a mental effort here. Strives, right? So you have a set of 5 synonyms applied to the non-rising, the abandoning of unwholesome states, arising and persistence of wholesome states. These are the 4 right strivings. Now the sutta, the prose ends there, and then the Buddha closes with a verse. Those who rightly strive overcome Mara's realm. Unattached, they cross beyond the fear or danger of birth and death. They are contented, unshaken, having conquered Mara on his mount. Those happy ones have overcome all of Namuchi's army. So there is there are lots of figurative references here to Mara. The first line refers to Mara's realm, Maradeya. There are 2 important meanings here. One meaning is psychological, that is the way we think, our senses. So that's a psychological definition. Then you have a cosmological definition, that is all that exists, all the 3 worlds, sense world, form world, formless world. Those are Mara's realm. The reason that they are called Mara's realm is because even if you are reborn in the formless states and live for many eons, you will still be reborn. You will kind of go up and down in a game of this cosmic game of snakes and ladders. So Mara does that. It keeps us in a loop. Then, so that there is this idea that we let go of this realm, so that you're free from birth and death. And here, if we are contented, we are happy, we are at peace with ourselves, then we overcome Mara on his mount. So Mara in the Buddhist mythology appears on his very fierce, huge big elephant, with a war elephant called Giri Mekhala. So the meaning here is that we are no more under the power of Mara. Here Mara represents death, or death and darkness, if you like. And those who can do that, they're happy. They have overcome Namuchi's army. So another name for Mara is Namuchi. Na-muchi. Na means does not, muchi, let go. The one who holds you and holds you tight does not let you go. And here's a host of demons, minions serving him. So this is the first sutta, very short one. Now we have the second sutta, Chatukkapadana Sutta 2, the second fourth discourse on striving, A 4.69. So here you have the two suttas kind of quite apart from each other. Both are in the Book of Fours. The first one is Sutta 13 and the second one is Sutta 69. So this is very interesting because we have two suttas talking about the same thing, but they are kind of put quite far apart, but in the same nipata, the same chapter of Fours. So here the sutta begins with the definition, same as the Sutta 1. Bhikshus, there are these four strivings. What are the four? The striving of restraint, Sangvara Padana, the striving of abandonment, Pahana Padana, the striving of cultivation, Bhavana Padana, the striving of guarding, Anurakkhana Padana. Now for the striving of guarding, instead of guarding you can use persistence if you like, because in the sutta, if you remember, we use the word persistence to go on doing it. And we are still on page 124, section 2. And what bhikshus is the striving of restraint, Sangvara Padana. Here bhikshus, a monk summons his will, makes an effort, rouses energy, applies his mind, strives for the non-arising of unarisen, bad, unwholesome states. This bhikshus is called the striving of restraint. So notice here, it's almost the same as the Sutta 1, but there is a closing line, alright? And what bhikshus is the striving of abandonment, Pahana Padana. Here bhikshus, he summons his will, makes an effort, rouses energy, applies his mind, strives for the abandoning of arisen, bad, unwholesome states. This bhikshus is called the striving of abandonment. And what bhikshus is the striving of cultivation, Bhavana Padana. He summons his will, makes an effort, rouses energy, applies his mind, strives for the striving of unarisen, wholesome states. This bhikshus is called the striving of cultivation. And what bhikshus is the striving of guarding, or persistence, if you like, Anurakkhana Padana. He summons his will for the persistence of arisen wholesome states, for their non-decline, increase, abundance, development, fulfillment. So here again we see a string of synonyms for non-decline. You have increase, abundance, development, or making more, and fulfillment. This bhikshus is called the striving of guarding. These bhikshus are the four right strivings. And here's the closing verse. Restraint and abandoning, cultivation and guarding, these are the four strivings. Taught by the kinsman of the sun, whichever monk is ardent here will attain the ending of suffering. Right, so here the Buddha addresses the Dhamma directly. This is Dhamma language. Restraint, abandoning, cultivation, guarding. So here we have the four strivings mentioned again. And then, in fact, the Buddha then says these are the four strivings taught by the kinsman of the sun. So this is a kind of appellation, a kind of a description of the Buddha. The sun represents the main light in the sky. It gives life. So there's only one Buddha in our universe. So he is like the sun in that sense, because he enlightens us, he brightens our life. He awakens us just as we awaken before the sun or with the sun. So whichever monk, whoever meditates and who is diligent here will end suffering. So we have two languages. So this one is Dhamma language, and Sutta 1 uses a mythical language, story language, worldly language. All right? So you have two kinds of approaches here. And so these are the two suttas on right striving. Now let us close with a short reflection. The Buddha's teaching is still with us, reminding us how we just need to close our eyes and see more of the light within us. To close our eyes means to let go of the world, let go of distraction, and to direct all our attention, mindfulness, to the Buddha's teaching of impermanence, unsatisfactoriness, and non-self. Basically, to see the rise and fall of things, to see impermanence, and in that way, we feel stronger and we are empowered to go deeper into the Buddha's teaching. Reflecting in this way is wonderful good karma, by the power of this wonderful teaching and the three jewels. May we be blessed with good health, strength, wisdom, and the courage to at least aspire to stream winning in this life itself. And by the same token, by the power of the three jewels, may our loved one, our family and friends be well and happy too. And may they see the true teaching in this life itself. By the power of the three jewels too, may those who are practicing the Dharma in the right way, may they see the fruit of it in this life itself. And by the power of the three jewels too, may those who have lost their way or teaching the wrong things, may they too see the true teaching, be inspired to follow the true teaching in this life itself. May all beings be well and happy. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.